Hey everyone, I'm Jerry James Stone, and today's recipe is a delicious, indulgent, double caramel apple Dutch baby. So if you haven't seen Dutch babies before, they're these wonderful pancakes that just run up the sides of a cast iron skillet, and this recipe is brought to you by the Republic of Tea. Let's get cooking. As I mentioned, this recipe is brought to you by the Republic of Tea and their wonderful caramel apple tea. So I was inspired by this tea to make this recipe. I really wanted to make a Dutch baby using apples and caramel, and I really wanted to make it indulgent. I was trying to think of ways I can get more caramel in there without actually upping the sugar. And so what I do is I take this tea and I infuse the batter. I infuse the batter with the tea so you get those caramel notes in the actual pancake itself, and along with the actual real caramel that we make. So let's get to making it. The first thing you're gonna do is take a cast iron skillet and we're gonna melt some butter in it. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of whipping cream. You're gonna add the brown sugar, and this is really important. You wanna make sure that the brown sugar is completely incorporated with the melted butter and the cream before going on to the next step. So this is a little bit of a hack caramel sauce, and so it's just really important that that brown sugar is completely dissolved and incorporated with those ingredients. And here's a little storage tip. If your brown sugar has ever just gotten brick hard where you can't use it anymore, it's still good. It's still safe to eat. So all you need to do is take whatever quantity you want to use, put it in a microwave safe bowl, cover it with a damp paper towel, and just microwave it on 10-second intervals. What that'll do is break up that brown sugar, and just kind of the moisture from the towel will penetrate the brown sugar and make it not as firm. And just do that in 10-second intervals until you can easily break it apart with a fork. The important part here is to not melt the brown sugar. You want to just do it until the brown sugar starts to fall apart and is actually usable. Brown sugar lasts forever, it lasts indefinitely, it does not spoil as long as it's stored properly in a dark, cool place. And if it ever gets firm, just use that little trick to loosen it up. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add our cinnamon and our sea salt to the brown sugar and butter mixture. Once that's all mixed in, we'll just take that mixture and bring it up to like a low simmer. So the key here is you want the mixture to bubble and simmer, but you don't want to burn the sugar. So just at a low simmer, just for like about a minute. After it's cooked for about a minute, then we're gonna go in and add our vanilla extract. Just completely mix that vanilla extract into the mixture. This is really important about vanilla, by the way. So I'm using real vanilla extract. I suggest you always use real vanilla extract too. The imitation stuff, while it might save you a little bit of coin, is actually just not as great of a quality. Imitation vanilla extract only lasts a few years in comparison to the real stuff, which lasts forever, and it just degrades quickly over time, whereas the real stuff does not, and it tastes better too. After you've cooked the caramel for a few more minutes, after we've mixed in that vanilla extract, you want to add in your sliced apples. And we're just gonna continue cooking that caramel. So the key here, just over a medium heat, is to cook the apples, soften the apples, but not burn the sugar. So it's okay if it's bubbling a little bit, but don't let that mixture boil, because you definitely don't want it to burn that sugar. So you wanna keep that nice fluidity to the caramel with the apples, and cook it about 5 minutes until those apples are nice and soft. Once the apples are cooked, turn off the heat, remove the cast iron skillet from the burner, and just scoop out as much of those apples as you possibly can into another bowl. It's okay if there's still some caramel left over in the skillet, but try to get out as much as you possibly can. We're gonna put our batter back into the skillet, so that batter is gonna absorb whatever leftover caramel into that actual pancake, which is why I call it double caramel, because it's actually infused with the tea. Here's a little note for you on apples. Apples are actually a really, really great fruit for ripening other fruits. So if you have fruits that are climacteric, that means that they actually ripen after being picked. Stuff like this is like peaches or bananas or avocados. Those types of things that continue to ripen after being picked are sensitive to apples. Apples can actually help them ripen faster. So if you put an apple in a bag with an avocado and roll it up, it'll ripen a lot faster than it just would on its own. So apples are really great for stuff like that. Okay, now to make the batter for our Dutch baby. So you want to take the milk for this recipe, put it in the microwave and microwave it for about 30 seconds, just till it's nice and warm. And we're gonna add in a couple pouches of the Republic of Tea caramel apple tea. We're just add a couple pouches into that milk and let it sit there in the warm milk for about 5 minutes until it just kind of fully infuses the flavor. Now, if you want more caramel flavor in it, you can add in a few more pouches. You can let it steep longer, but you only really need to do it for about 5 minutes. So after the milk is infused with the tea, you want to take out those tea bags, squeeze out as much milk as you possibly can, and you want to let that milk cool before we add in the next ingredients. The reason is we're going to add an egg, and you don't want that milk to cook the egg. That's not the point. Once it's cool, add in the vanilla extract, and then add in the beaten eggs, and just mix that all together. Once again, really important, the milk should be fully cooled before you add in the egg mixture. In a separate bowl, you want to whisk together the flour and the sugar, and then we're going to take the liquid ingredients and add them to those dry ingredients and fully incorporate it, just whisking it until you get out all the lumps. Little storage tip on flour, by the way. So flour will last about a year past the Best By date if you store it in a cool, dark place, but it actually will keep a lot longer if you put it in the freezer. It'll last a couple years past the Best By date. So if you don't use your flour very often, you're trying to get the most out of it, I suggest putting it in the freezer. Okay, so we've completely mixed together our batter. We're gonna pour that batter into our cast iron skillet that still has some of that caramel left over from before, and we're gonna bake it at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. The way that you know that the pancake is ready is it will completely puff up like a dome. It'll look like a huge, huge dome inside of the cast iron skillet. When it's done, take it out of the oven. It's okay, it's not like a souffle, you want that dome to fall. The dome is gonna fall, so you'll have this pancake that lines the bottom of the cast iron skillet and sort of comes up the sides. Go ahead and add the caramel apples to that, just top it off with the caramel apples, dust it with a little bit of powdered sugar, and boom, you have a delicious double caramel apple Dutch baby using Republic of Tea's caramel apple tea. I highly recommend this recipe. It's nice to get all those different layers of caramel, super tasty. Just try the tea on its own too, because if you just want something sweet, it's not, it's a nice little fix for you. Check out the link in the show notes. If you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. If there's something that you want to see, hey, just drop a comment down below. And if you like to cook like I do, I release new recipes every single week. So I'll see you guys next time. As I mentioned, this recipe is brought to you by the Republic of Tea and this wonderful caramel apple.